Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Michael Kuhn.
And I'm Ashley Lehue. Thanks for joining us. Heavy amounts of rain are approaching Delaware County tonight. NewsLink Indiana weather forecaster Ellen Fritz has more. Ellen?
You are absolutely right. You've been hearing lots of thunder, seeing that lightning crack across the sky, and that's because there is quite a lot of moisture moving into our area. Right now, temperatures are cooling down pretty significantly from what we were seeing earlier. So 55 degrees, and you can see there's rain and storms out there. The winds are calm, but don't worry, that'll change. You'll see this kind of sharp change in temperatures. These brighter greens here, 61 in Shelbyville, 55 in Kokomo. That's where the rain is. Switch over here to radar. You're seeing the northern half of Indiana is completely covered by all this rain. It's going to continue to move in heavy spurts and downpours throughout now until about midnight, and things will start to calm down. Less lightning and thunder will we experience. If we get a little closer in here, kind of see that we're wrapped by these stronger downpours. So in these darker red returns on here, that's where we're getting those lightning and thunder. So be wary, don't be outside if you don't have to be. But much more is coming up in our weather story too. So rainy overnight, and Thursday thunderstorms are coming in too. So more severe potential for tomorrow and a cool down for our weekend up ahead. That much and more in weather. Back to you guys.
Ball State's immersive learning class Water Quality Indiana has been honored by the White House. As part of the 23rd Annual United Nations World Water Day, the White House hosted members of groups and organizations looking to make a difference for the water supply. NewsLink Indiana's Evan House has the story.
Since the fall of 2013, Water Quality of Indiana, an immersive learning course combining science and journalism, has looked and studied waterways, their ecosystems, and water pollution across the state, including the White and Mississinawa rivers, as well as Buck Creek. Though the course is only 2.5 years old, the group was honored last week at the White House Water Summit. Lee Floria, co-founder of Water Quality of Indiana and an assistant professor in the geological department, made the trip to Washington, D.C. and spoke about the experience of the event.
I went there, I participated, I occupied my seat, I listened to some of the politicians give their spiel, I listened to the federal agencies talk about their actions plan, got to ask questions, you submit a card that has a question on it, and then some guy in a corner reads it and makes sure it's okay, and then hands it to the person moderating. But you get to do that, and then shake hands, talk to people, and then go to a demonstration space where they highlight national level efforts.
Floria's co-founder of Water Quality Indiana, Adam Cuban, who also serves as a journalism professor at Ball State, never believed his work would reach the White House.
Well, I certainly never thought at 32 years old that anything I did or that anything that I was a part of was White House worthy, so that's part of it. It's truly an honor to have that connection, and I think it also speaks volumes to the fact that this is an important concept and this is a very important topic.
Senior journalism student Rick Pertha has been a part of Water Quality of Indiana since the course was first offered. He believes projects like theirs can reach further than Ball State and their students.
These projects, if you work hard enough on them and you can get students who are committed to the projects themselves, it's going to cause an effect that's more than just this university. It's going to give us a chance to impact the communities surrounding, Ball State. It's going to reach out farther than, you could ever imagine. I mean, this project reached the White House.
A key goal for Water Quality of Indiana is expansion. This summer, they will partner with students from Taylor University as well as advanced high school students. However, the group has dreams to work on a national level. For NewsLink Indiana, in Muncie, I am Evan House reporting.
For more information on Water Quality Indiana, visit waterqualityIN.com.
President Obama shortened the prison sentences of 61 drug offenders today. That's more than a third of those inmates were serving life sentences for drug possession, intent to sell, or related crimes. Most of these are non-violent offenders, but a few were also charged with gun violations. Obama wrote a letter to the inmates and said that this presidential power embodies the basic belief in our democracy that people deserve a second chance. Most of the inmates are set to be released on July 28th.
Speaking of the White House, GOP presidential hopefuls are back in the Midwest for next week's Wisconsin primary. Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and John Kasich spent last night courting Wisconsin voters, as well as deriding each other at times. Reed Binion reports.
You won't promise to support the Republican nominee.
And he was essentially saying the same.
A new sign of the bitterness in the Republican presidential race came Tuesday at CNN's Wisconsin Town Hall, as all three candidates backed away from their pledge to support the eventual nominee.
If the nominee is somebody that I think is really hurting the country and dividing the country, I can't stand behind them.
Party officials asked candidates to sign the pledge in September, but as the primary field narrowed, the acrimony between the remaining contenders expanded. Trump and Cruz's once amicable rapport devolved into a series of recriminations, tabloid smears, and personal attacks that included their wives.
I'm not in the habit of supporting someone who attacks my wife and attacks my family.
I don't want his support. I don't need his support.
The backtracking came the same day that Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, was charged with simple battery for a confrontation with a reporter. He's vowed to fight the charge.
I looked at the tape, and by the way, if he was that way, I would have fired him in 2 seconds. I wouldn't care. I couldn't have cared less. But I looked at the tape.
Cruz and Kasich both said terminating Lewandowski would be appropriate.
It is not complicated that physically assaulting a reporter is a fireable offense.
I would take some sort of action, either suspension or firing.
The ramped-up rhetoric comes as GOP contenders prepare to face off in Wisconsin's primary on April 5th. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Janesville, Wisconsin police are looking for 2 suspects after a 15-year-old girl was maced while protesting at a Trump rally on Tuesday. The girl involved said that a man inappropriately touched her chest, after which she pushed him away. According to police, another person in the crowd then sprayed the girl with pepper spray. Although no officers were in the area, no one has been arrested in connection with this incident.
Well, we were certainly right there in the area, but as you saw probably today, we held lines, and there were large groups of people that were together, so we weren't able to see every single movement.
People from around the state gathered in Spencer, Indiana today to mourn and remember the life of Shaylin Ammerman. The 1-year-old girl is now in her final resting place after she was raped and murdered last week. 22-year-old Kyle Parker is facing charges of rape, child kidnapping, and murder, and is now on suicide watch in the Owen County Jail.
Minneapolis police officers Mark Regenberg and Dustin Schwartzy will not face charges for the November shooting of a 24-year-old Jamar Clark. Attorney Mike Freeman said Schwartzy shot Clark only after Regenberg scuffled with the young man. Clark took control of the officer's gun, and Regenberg told Schwartzy to open fire. Investigators concluded that the officers acted in self-defense. Mayor Betsy Hodges spoke of the city's support for community activists to protest peacefully.
I absolutely support the right to express those emotions and to demonstrate peaceably. It is as much the job of the city of Minneapolis to facilitate the peaceful expression of free speech as it is to keep everyone safe.
Coming up, find out what's in store for next year's dance marathon.
And a local high school gets a new principal. Stay tuned.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Ball State University's Dance Marathon Committee has their sights set on the future. NewsLink Indiana's Ben Safarbi has the story.
Ball State is known for many things, one of them being the famous dance marathon that takes place every year.
Ball State University's dance marathon is riding high after raising over $600,000 in February for Riley's Children's Hospital.
Drew Gaydosh is a sophomore public communications major who holds the title of co-director of recruitment for Ball State University's dance marathon.
It's a life-changing experience for sure. It's the largest organization and largest philanthropic organization on campus. It's 12 hours of fun, dedication, dancing, and doing what you want to do, all for the kids of Riley Children's Hospital.
Next year's dance marathon will be the organization's 10-year anniversary.
All we know is it's been 10 years. This is our 10th year anniversary, so we're trying to go big and trying to have a lot of fun with it and do different things. Just right now we don't know what they are.
Dance Marathon is known for their trend of topping themselves each year.
Every year I think we're going to try and at least get a little more than we did the prior year. That's just our goal, but I mean, you can never be upset with how much you make, whether you make that monetary goal or not.
Matthew Hood is the head of the brand new Marketing Communications Committee for Dance Marathon, and he has a tease for those who want an inkling as to what the organization has in store for 2017.
We plan to do a lot of big things that we can't really tell you about that are kind of a surprise that you'll have to stay tuned, but just know that it's going to be something very big.
BSUDM is a premier organization on campus that looks to continue its shine into next year. Ben Safar.
Dance Marathon's promise for big plans show the potential that Riley's Children's Hospital may receive more funds than ever before.
A 14-year-old from California spoke to an audience of college students tonight in Pruis Hall, talking about his invention of an inexpensive Braille printer. NewsLink Indiana's Michael Estridge is live in the studio with more. Michael?
Shubhan Bandry is the youngest speaker in the David Letterman's lecture series. Shubhan was just 12 years old when he invented an inexpensive Braille printer made out of Legos. This would eventually turn into his own company 2 years later called Brago Lab. Members of the U of M were able to sit down with him and ask him what inspired him.
To our house that was asking for donations for the blind, and I was curious and I didn't really know how blind people read. So I Googled how do blind people read, and I found out about Braille printers, and I found out that Braille printers cost over $2,000. So I wanted to create something that was a lot less costly, and that was my motivation to build this.
Shubhan is only a freshman in high school right now and does plan to attend college where he'll either major in engineering or go pre-med. Live in the studio, Michael Estridge, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Muncie School Board hired a new principal during a board meeting on Tuesday night. Christopher Walker will be taking over as principal from Muncie Central High School in the fall. Walker is currently the associate principal at Marion High School and says he is going to bring his experience from Marion to Muncie. Walker grew up in the area, graduating from Shindota High School in 1998. Walker plans on focusing on increasing graduation rates and tweaking the 8-step process.
A Fort Wayne funeral home stepped up to honor a fallen veteran today. 69-year-old John Pulowski was a homeless veteran who served in the Vietnam War. Pulowski had no family to make the funeral arrangements after the veteran passed away earlier this month. It was a full community effort as Fort Wayne's police and fire departments helped with the funeral procession. A local florist donated flowers for the service as well. When we return, umbrellas and raincoats will be needed for tomorrow's rainy day.
Your full weather forecast is up next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Well, we've been hearing the storms happening outside during this whole newscast, so it's making me not really look forward to going out tomorrow, getting to classes.
No, actually my umbrella broke the last time we had a bad storm like this, so I'm gonna run out after tonight and grab a new umbrella. Ellen, how long is this bad weather gonna stick around?
Well, you guys, it's gonna be around for quite a while. Tonight, that rain is going to continue. I know not what you want to hear, but it's what's gonna come our way. But looking outside right now, thunderstorms, yeah, lightning and lots of rain. Temperature is 55, staying pretty consistent at that. The winds are calm for now, but that umbrella might not be too useful tomorrow, just to let you know. Looking outside radar, we are surrounded. The northern half of Indiana is covered in rain, and it's going to stay that way through the overnight hours. If we look a little closer to Muncie, Michael was talking about all that lightning and thunder we've been hearing. Well, it's these dark red returns that we're getting. That's where the lightning and thunder is coming from. Should begin to slow down into the overnight hours into just rain for the most part. So tonight, that 55-degree temperature, continuous rain off and on the heavier and lighter scale there, but possible thunder should come down into the early morning hours. The wind will pick up though, southwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour, so be wary when it comes to the umbrella. But severe threat for tomorrow. Things are going to get a little bit more intense, exciting. So we are under a slight risk, but the western, southwestern part is under a enhanced risk. So that means there's a chance for hail, strong wind gusts, and a smaller chance for a tornado. Would be isolated down here, but mostly wind and hail is what we're looking forward to. So precision cast, let's get a little closer here. So into the overnight hours, we are going to see that consistent rainfall moving in. But we push in and things just become over rain. Not much when it comes to lightning or thunder, should just be consistent rainfall. But there is that chance for more severe weather tomorrow. But what is that looking like? So we're looking to this break in the day. If clouds clear up and there is daytime heating, that increases our chances for severe weather. So if there's a bigger break, there is a bigger chance for severe weather. Looking forward into tomorrow night, you see this strong band being pushed in by a cold front. That's going to strengthen those potential force storms here and move into Muncie around late Thursday night, 10 p.m. But things are going to clear up for Friday. We are going to see some leftover clouds, but things are going to begin to calm down. But looking into our 7-day forecast here, Thursday, those rain and storms. Friday, leftover sprinkles, a cool down there for the weekend into the 40s. And then Monday through Wednesday, pretty cool too.
All right, thanks, Ellen. When we return, Ball State gymnastics team is making headlines.
And local athletes are keeping the basketball spirit alive. NewsLink Indiana Sports is next.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Billy Lehman with your sports. Ball State Gymnastics will be sending 4 gymnasts along with 2 alternates to Iowa City for their regional competition coming up this weekend. Coach Joanna Salim is excited about the team's accomplishment and wants to build on it next season.
It's exciting, but the type A personality in me is like, okay, it's not enough. We want to make sure next year it's the team that's going, or we need more people going. You have to celebrate all the successes because these young ladies have worked really, really hard and have embraced this program and have truly made it their own. And that's an exciting thing when there's some ownership with your individuals that are on the team. You can go really far with a program when everybody's bought in. And so I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that hunger.
The 4 gymnasts advancing are Denasia Christian, Sarah Ebeyer, Jordan Penny, and Bailey Bell. 2 of the gymnasts shared their thoughts ahead of their regional debut.
It's so exciting, especially to be with these girls, especially being with like Denasia and Erin. Ever since I've been a freshman, we've been in the lineup together on floor and vault. So getting able to go with them and have that same type of atmosphere there will be incredible. But I've never been to regionals before, so this is something I have never prepared for. This is kind of like you're a freshman all over again.
So I've never actually made it to regionals, and it's like, oh, you're going, and you're doing 2 events. Your favorite events, your best events. So they're 2 events that I don't really have to think too much about on floor. It's just fun. Like, I honestly don't have to think at all when I do it. Vault has become, it's always been one of my strongest events, but the fact that this year I've learned how to somehow control it and land it and stick a vault, and then it qualified me for regionals is just crazy to me.
This is the most competitors that Ball State will have sent to regionals since 1999, when the whole team qualified for the competition. Regionals begin at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Indiana high school basketball may be over for the season, but local athletes are still being honored, with a pair of Muncie Central seniors earning all-conference honors. Philip Corden was named to the first-team all-conference, while teammate Andre Jones received second-team honors. Corden led the Bearcats in scoring during his senior campaign, averaging more than 15 points per game. Jones, meanwhile, added 13 points of his own and led the team in rebounds. Muncie Central finished the season 15-10. And moving from high school basketball to the professional ranks, the Pacers and Bulls went down to the wire last night with big playoff implications hanging in the balance. Paul George is shown here ready to lead the Pacers against the Bulls. Second quarter, Monte Ellis drives the lane and dishes to Jan Mahimi for the slam. Pacers trail by 7. Later in the second quarter, Paul George with the steal, and he would go coast to coast with the layup under pressure. Pacers trailed by 2 at the half. Fourth quarter, Bulls with the ball. Tie game, Jimmy Butler with the jumper, and it is good. Bulls take the lead with just over 3 seconds. And C.J. Miles takes the inbound for Indiana, and the shot at the buzzer is no good. Bulls win 98-96. And that win yesterday may have kept the Bulls alive as far as the Eastern Conference playoffs go. Chicago now sits just 2 games back of Indiana with 8 games to play. The Pacers are just a half game back from the Pistons, who are in 7th. So guys, hopefully the Indiana Pacers can finish strong, and we'll see them have a strong presence in the upcoming NBA playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah. Close game there. Yeah, tough loss for them.
It's a shame to see that one go down like that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Billy. Coming up on entertainment news, find out which celebrity has rumors of a much-expected album.
And won the Technique 1 Wheel of Fortune contestant used to win $76,000.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Taylor Morton with your entertainment news. So just how lucky or smart does a person have to be in order to solve a Wheel of Fortune puzzle with just one letter revealed? Contestants Robert Santielli correctly guessed the 13-letter puzzle port and starboard, with only the letter D appearing on the board. The 23-year-old told a New Jersey website, tapintoit.net, it was more preparation and studying past shows than anything. Santielli says the instant he learned the show was going to feature a nautical theme, he came up with an ever-growing list of puzzles towards anything on water. Santielli won $76,000 total and won 2 cruises during the episode. The college graduate says he plans to use his winnings to pay off student loans and purchase a car. There's no question that Beyonce is dropping a new album. However, there are questions on when. Beyonce kicks off the tour April 27th, and of course, fans speculate that her new album will drop before then. The Queen of Surprise release has kept her lips zipped about the 2013 Beyonce follow-up. According to E! Online, the supposedly leaked release is believed that the album will be available to Tidal users April 1st, which is fans are hoping no pun is intended. Thursday, March 31st, Ball State University Latino Student Union is hosting an event called Dinner Theater. Dinner Theater is an annual event, which is part of Latino Student Union's month called El Mes. The organization hopes to teach its attendees about Hispanic culture through a traditional mariachi musical performance. Dinner Theater will also include other musical performances as well as a catered pasta buffet dinner. This event is from 7 to 8 p.m. and is free and open to the public.
And as we're wrapping up tonight, Ellen, give us one final look at what's to come.
Yes, well, tomorrow that rain is going to continue, possibly more severe into the evening hours. Friday going to be a little bit cooler, weekend 40s, and then a kick back up in temperatures to the start of next week.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to having some warmer temperatures in our future. Not really looking too great right now, but hopefully in the future we'll get that.
Yeah.
Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.